Welcome back, guys. Today I'm making chicken cordon bleu with a side of potatoes and carrots that I'm going to roast on my barbecue in this pan, and some fresh beans that I'm going to just boil in a pot on my stove. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and washed and cut my potatoes. I peeled and cut my carrots diagonally. I've gone ahead and I have chopped up some fresh oregano, rosemary, and thyme. I'm just going to put that in there. I'm also going to throw in some of my garlic here. And this is my homemade garlic. And well, we love garlic in this house, so I'm just going to throw a lot in there. I am getting low, so I'm almost at the point where I will make some more and show you guys how I make my homemade garlic. And then I'm going to throw on some olive oil, some butter. Butter's for the flavor. And then tried and true tested salt and pepper. I am contemplating getting electric salt and pepper shakers or mills. What do you guys think? Okay, now we're going to give these a bit of a stir. I know the butter's not going to mix in well, but I do want to mix up the oil so that the oil is on all of these and to help coat the vegetables so the salt and pepper and herbs will stick to it. Okay, there we go. Use a plate for that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to do chicken cordon bleu. It is actually simple. Don't let the name fool you. Just because it has a French name like chicken cordon bleu does not mean that it is hard to make. So for this, you're going to need a few things. Some breadcrumbs. I always use the Italian style seasoned breadcrumbs. You're going to need chicken, Swiss cheese, salt and pepper, and ham. I always do deli ham, and I have them sliced it a little bit thicker than what most people normally get for the sandwich slices. So first you're going to take your chicken. Now you can pound it if you would prefer to flatten it by the pounding method, but my favorite saves time is just to butterfly it, which is basically cutting it halfway down the middle, like that. And I'm just going to cut up all 5 tonight. I'm not the best at cutting these in half, but it does the job. Little bone or something there. Remove that. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, so now those are all butterflied. Now lay them down on your cutting board. Now season them with some salt and pepper. My pepper mill always, for some reason, always tends to get clogged up. And it doesn't matter the setting size that I have on it. It always gets clogged up. There we go. And you do want to season both sides. Okay. This is why I grabbed the tongs, so I don't need to worry about touching the chicken right now and having to rewash my hands before I touch my salt and pepper shaker, my salt and pepper mills. I'm not going to season this side as much, but I still will season it. The first side I seasoned was the inside. That's the side that I always season more. Oh, I actually forgot to turn on my oven. So make sure you turn your oven on to 350 degrees. Okay. Now that those are done, I'm going to open up my breadcrumbs and throw some into this dish here. Okay. Now I'm out of parchment paper and I haven't had a chance to get any. So I'm just going to use tin foil tonight. And because I am using tin foil, I want to make sure that they don't stick, so I'm just going to give them a quick light spray of some cooking oil. Okay. Now, this, because I'm going to have to wash my hands again anyways, without having to touch my salt and pepper mills, I'm just going to touch these with my hands this time. Okay. It is easier to do this with your hands as well, instead of trying to use something like tongs to try and get the breadcrumbs into all of the little spots. Okay. So we've had a pretty busy week here this week. As I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, that one of my cats had gotten into an accident and broke her leg. So I haven't done a lot of filming this week. She is home, she is resting. She does have to be by herself, so she can't be hanging out with all the other animals. So sadly, my poor kitty is spending a lot of time by herself. We do spend a lot of time with her, but she doesn't have company 24/7 like what she's used to. Now, some other good news is that our youngest daughter came home for a few days. She's able to do that with her job. So she's home for a few days to hang out, and she is helping out with the cat. Okay, now, So now from here, you're going to want to take your ham and your Swiss cheese. Now, if you don't like Swiss cheese, you don't have to use Swiss cheese. The recipe does tend to call for Swiss cheese, and we do like Swiss cheese. It has a bit more of a woody flavor to it, and we like that on our cheese at least. We sealed this one so you can't break into it. Oh, let's see if I can open it this way. There we go. Okay. So, you take your piece of chicken, lay it down, take a piece of cheese, put it down there, take your ham, these are larger slices of ham, so I'm just going to cut them in half, lay it down. So you've got your piece of chicken, take your piece of cheese and put it on top of your chicken like so, and then put your ham like so. Now take it and roll it up. I am going to put them back in here and give them another roll just to get more of the breadcrumbs on top of it. I did forget to grab my toothpicks. So you are going to want toothpicks or something to at least hold them together while they are cooking. Where did my toothpicks go? There they are. Sometimes things get moved. It happens. Okay. Just give it a quick poke just to keep it like that for a few moments. My second chicken breast, piece of ham, piece of cheese, piece of ham. This is a bit of a larger sized chicken breast, so I'm just going to use a bit of a larger piece of ham here. Okay, and then roll it up. Okay, put that in there for a minute. Okay, another chicken breast, piece of cheese. I'm just going to use these two pieces that I have already cut. It's a half a piece and then a little bit more. Okay, now this is actually full. So as I mentioned, just give them another roll in the breadcrumbs, just to make sure that your chicken breast is coated. Okay. Pop your toothpick in and then take it over there. And even at the end, I'll still throw some more breadcrumbs on the pan. Okay. Roll it up. Okay. And let's see. Another piece of cheese, another piece of ham that I'm going to cut in half. There's that one there. Okay. Just covering it in the breadcrumbs again. And as I mentioned, I will do this on the pan as well. And then my last and final chicken breast, piece of cheese, piece of ham, roll it up, cover again in the breadcrumbs. There we go. A couple of these. Okay, so from there, as I mentioned, I'm going to take my breadcrumbs again, just sprinkle them again, just to make sure, because you were handling them, and so most likely some of the breadcrumbs came off and they're stuck on your hand now. Okay, so now we're going to put that in the oven for, they do take about 45 minutes approximately to cook, somewhere between 35 to 45 minutes on average, depending on your oven, your chicken breasts, like how big they are and everything. So I'm going to put them in the oven for approximately about 40 minutes from now. I'm also going to go ahead and put my vegetables onto the barbecue. They're going to take about the same amount of time to cook as my chicken breasts. In the last 5 minutes, I'm going to put some more cheese on top of the chicken breast. I will come back and I will show you that as well. All right, so I will see you shortly. Thank you. Okay guys, so it's been about 35 minutes. I decided during that time I wasn't going to do the beans tonight. I will save those for probably tomorrow. But now what we want to do is we're going to take out our chicken. We're going to go get our Swiss cheese again. And from here, just take your Swiss cheese and just break them in half. You can cut them, you can just fold them over and let them break that way. It's your choice. And then stick them on top of your chicken. I do take the toothpicks out and then place the cheese back onto the chicken with the toothpicks. That way the cheese won't fall off. Okay, and here's our last piece of cheese. So these will take another approximately 5 minutes. And then dinner will be ready. I'll be back to plate up and show you at that time. Okay guys, I'm back. I did overcook my potatoes and carrots a bit, but I was able to salvage most of them. So here's my potatoes. The carrots basically had to be thrown out. But here's my potatoes. So I'm just going to dish those onto the plates here. I've taken my chicken out of the oven. And I do have some beans cooking up now because I did overcook the potatoes a bit. Just make sure that when you do, before you put your plates, before you put the chicken on the plates, just take out the toothpicks. Yes, my child. There. So there you go, and then I will be adding some beans to that as well. I'm just going to throw some butter, salt, and pepper on those beans. Well, thank you. I hope you have a great night and enjoy.